Cash, and welcome back to Cash Talks Football, where we break down all the goals scored in the Premier League using a lot of technical analysis and whizzy stuff. With my over 20 plus years of coaching experience, I give you a different insight into football that you're not going to hear anywhere else. Now, I'm going to show you a couple of little highlights here before we get into the goals. Well, actually, just one. I'm going to show Man City are not firing correctly. And I don't know if any of you have ever been on a winning team that's been successful a certain amount of times, or someone like myself that's coached for a team that's been winning for a very long time, and then you start just basically running out of energy. Jurgen Klopp talked about it when he left at Liverpool, and I totally understood what he was on about. Every single day is a fight. Every single day is going to war. And that energy that you need to be the best is exhausting. But it's easy when you're winning and you're on the rise or you're holding there. But slowly over time, you start losing that energy to compete, and you're looking for other players around you on your team to step up and give you that energy and that extra push to continue at that highest level that they've been at for such a long time. And Man City looks like they've got a good 35, 45 minutes in them, but then their legs seem to go in the second half. And there's another classic example today. We know Pep will change that as the season goes on, because he always does. It just seems that the drop-off at the start of this year is a little bit more than it normally is, and it's costing them. And I'll showing you one of the mistakes right here that Man City don't make. They don't make this mistake, but they do, and they don't go 1-0 up straight away. So we're looking at, they're counter-attacking into this area here. All they're normally looking to do is create this little space here so they can cut the ball back to Haaland. That's what they're looking to do. So let's just move this forward ever so slightly. 1, 2 seconds. Now you can see they're exactly where they're looking to do. He's going to drive to the byline. That's exactly where they want to go. And they're looking for that cutback. That's all they're looking to do. But here's the problem. It doesn't come. The strategy changes. They don't take shots like this at the near post with the goalkeeper there. They drop it into Haaland, and chances are he doesn't shoot. He rotates it and rolls it, and Man City score a tap-in. That's how Man City score goals. That's how they're programmed to score goals. That's what they do in their coaching sessions. They wouldn't be taking shots like this. It wouldn't happen. They would just keep the ball rotating to the OP space, and then get themselves a goal. But from this, you can see that the decision-making isn't quite there. They're not quite up to those levels where normally, routinely, that ball would be cut straight into the middle here, and there's a million reasons I can go into why and how and what coaching sessions that they do at Manchester City and how they do that, because they start off in a certain way and they transition through the years, and it looks like to me that they're not even doing that. Why are they not doing their basic fundamentals that they do at every coaching session and every little part of the Man City? I don't understand it, but there we go. Let's get on to some of the goals. Couple of things. First, this guy's offside, right, which is shocking, okay? But also, this ball trying to be played at pace in between here that ends up getting cut out is one of these other things that I rave on about. Because I've been coaching for so long, I notice things that happen in trends and over the years. Because what happens is certain things, coaches want coached out of the game because they don't want their players doing it because it's high risk, it's risk averse, right? So a risk averse pass is passing it on the ground. Passing in the air is dangerous, but that's the ball. Like, even if why are you passing it on the ground there? The ball is to play it over the top right there. And I'll tell you why people don't play it over the top, because if you're a coach and you're doing your coaching licenses, or you're playing, or even down at your under 10s, and a parent will say, why don't kick the ball away? Keep the ball, possession, keep the ball. So coaches stop doing things because it looks bad. It's called hipster coaching. You can't play a long ball. You can't knock it over the top. Yeah, you can. It's called Route 1 for a reason, because it's the quickest way to the goal. And they stop playing the ball over in the air, and they put it on the ground. The problem on the ground is when you make a mistake like this, it's really easy to cut out. Yeah, he would have been flagged offside, but now you've given this change in possession, and it's really, really easy. Now, the other point is his body shape. After playing that, you can see he's put all of his effort into that, trying to do the right thing, trying to get the right weight on it to knock it through, but he's completely out of balance. And this is something else which only a couple of midfielders will do, but not many anymore. He runs with the ball. And because he runs with the ball, he opens up all the space. He doesn't look to pass it. He just looks to run with it. And when you're pressured and the other person's got some talent to run past you, it's really easy. So let me explain that to you. You're coming at full momentum this way. He's coming at full momentum that way. Okay. If you're trying to pass it, his full momentum can cut the ball out. If you just run around him, it's really, really easy. Yeah, and that's what he does. And then he's trying to look out to pick out a pass. And this is quality forward play from Erling Haaland. Now, if Haaland was in a better team, and it sounds silly, than Manchester City, because Manchester City don't play to the striker. The whole team plays. Everyone plays wide, and they create all these little opportunities by cutting the ball back. They're not just trying to feed the striker. That's what I mean by playing with the striker. If he plays on a team like a Bayern Munich that feeds the striker, hence why Harry Kane scores so many goals, it'd be just a world beater. Well, even though he is a world beater, it'd be even better. Imagine that, he could be better. Heaven forbid he ever gets in a team with Real Madrid, with Mbappe on the one side, Vinicius Jr. on the other, and Jude Bellingham supplying him behind. That guy would turn into, it would just be you would never want to play against that team. But this is a quality pass. Not only the pass, though, I want you to watch this as we go through, because the pass, he's still got work to do. The pass is right through the eye of a needle, lots of proper pace on it as it goes. But now he's still got work to do because he's got a striker. He's got a defender on his back. This is where his strength and power comes in. Lots of strikers in the Premier League would be in this exact same situation, and Brighton would defend it easy because the striker wouldn't have the strength and the fortitude to play this first touch. This is the key. His first touch here, because he slightly puts it in front of this guy here and takes this guy out of the game. Now remember, if he tackles him, he's off, red card. If he tackles him, off, it's a red card. Right, and there'll be some debate, but you never know. It's Man City, it's VAR. I just assume they're going to get the call, aren't they? Everyone else, if you're playing and it wasn't Man City, they'd just get yellow carded. But yeah, we know the rules. So that touch there puts him across. Do we see? And now neither of them can challenge. No one can get close to him, and he just does what Haaland does. He puts it into the net box. Quality finish, as always, from the young chappie. But that a pass takes one defender out of the way. His first touch takes the second one out of the way. And that's just quality. And then he can just concentrate on putting the ball in the box. Into the goal. And it's a little bit scrappy, actually. I'll show you. I won't show you. It bounces up a bit and he follows it in, but it doesn't matter because all the important stuff happens before then. But let's get on to the next goal. Before we do, though, in true cash fashion, I'm just going to show you a little bit of a close-up so you can see what I'm talking about with this first touch. Watch this. One touch. Do you see how it just gets in front of the defender? So he just can't be touched. Drags it ever so slightly, and now he's off. Ball in, over the top, into the space, perfect. But we know the rules on this channel. Someone's got his hand up, Kyle Walker, so we know in the next 5 seconds, someone is going to score a goal. And if you don't know why that is, it's because when you're telling somebody else to do a job, right, and it's always the guy on the ball, he should be getting close to him to try to challenge his first touch. He's not. He's too busy bothered trying to tell everybody else back here what to do instead of doing his job. You've only got a certain amount of brain power, let's say 100%. And right now he's probably using at least 50% of that to tell everybody else what to do. So he's not even putting in 50% effort. Well, arguably you can say zero because he's not even trying to challenge him to actually try to win the ball. You need to stay on to do your job because you're the closest person to the ball. Back here, people can be telling each other what to do and how to organise and do whatever, because the football's not there. Your job right now is to get onto that ball and make sure he has a difficult chance with his first touch. If he gets it down, just try to do something. Not interested. No, I'm going to yell at everybody else what to do. No. Now look at the distance between the two. He's absolutely nowhere near the challenge to do anything here. So he can now put a ball in. It's a terrible ball outside of the foot, and it causes a bit of a bundle in the middle. It's just a messy goal, really, but Brighton well deserved to score it. Kyle Walker is absolutely nowhere near him here. Terrible defending. Another player coming to the end of his career. All those things, because he doesn't have good positional play. It's funny because people say, there was always that debate, who's the best right back defensively. Kyle Walker wasn't defensively better than Trent Alexander-Arnold. He was just faster, so he won the ball. So people, well, that's defending. Yeah. But his positional play has always been poor. But he's always been able to recover because he has blistering pace. When you start making little, tweaks and wrongs in your positional play, and the pace, it's still there, by the way. I think his pace is still there. But it's getting worse. And he's making more and more poor decisions. And you can see right here, if he was on him, he might have just won the ball. But he didn't. He was too busy telling everybody else what to do. Now we've got a ball in across. Doesn't really look that dangerous, except for you do have 1, 2, and 1. So you do have a bit of an overload because the Man City players aren't really getting back as fast as normal. They're just not quite at the races so far this season. When this ball comes in, though, I want to show you this. I'm going to move it on a little bit because this is a hard goal to sort of break down and do an analysis unless I can actually just flow it all the way through. And I can't do that on YouTube because they get mad when you show clips for longer in certain times. But I'm going to show you one of the young... I'm not sure who this kid is, but he's got to be a young kiddie because he makes such a silly mistake. Here he is. You can see City have got some players back now. It falls right here. He's on the ground diving for the ball. What are you doing? It looks like you've fallen over. If you've cleared the ball, fine. If you've done one of those, slides and smash the ball away with your foot, great, but you haven't. And this has caused a huge problem now because you've got a player on the ground. When he's on the ground, he's got a huge possibility that one of these little things is going to touch the ball. This is a hand, if you didn't know, by the way, because my camera's so... Yeah, I should get better at using that, but I'm terrible with it. Close to being a handball, and now it's just a scrap to see what's going to happen. This is I say this all the time. How many players do you need to win the ball? Oh, one. You've got two Man City players on the ball, and you've got one Brighton player. Guess who wins the ball? The two Man City players stop. I'm going to show you the reverse angle in a second and show you. This is why you don't have two people trying to do one job. The two will just assume that the other person's doing it, and neither person will do the job. Ball drops, and he smashes it into the net box and gets himself a goal. See, it's right here. You're going to see these are the two kiddies that are in play. This one here and this one here. One little ball. It's going to go through his legs. This guy all the way from back here is going to come in and smack it into the goal. Right, let's just show you that as we move this forward. Boom, there it goes through the legs. Doesn't clear it because two people both go to pressure the ball instead of letting him pressure the ball and see what happens. And I mean, it is a case of just a little bit of hesitation. And you're going to go, Cash, that's ridiculous. This is really, really fast and they're panicking. I know, but they need to be able to do it because otherwise they ain't going to play on my team. Don't make mistakes like that. So slow to react, and then Brighton get themselves a goal. Okay, this is another quality goal, and I want to show you the difference of making runs. So this ball's going to, I think it's getting played. I think it's played in here. Actually, I'm not quite sure, but I want you to keep your eye on this guy as it progresses forward, because he is going to pull everybody out of the way for this guy to score. And this is why when you have two people up front, it creates such a problem, because if you go with the runner, well, they're going to pass the other guy. If you don't go with the runner, he's going to pass it in and he's going to score. So you have decisions to make, and you have to work as a proper unit and a proper team to do that. When you only got one guy up front, well, it's easy. You've got one guy, there's two defenders. It makes it so much easier. When this ball gets played, though, bump, there's the layoff. And as soon as he lays it off, I love it. He starts making a run. Brilliant. Now, look, this defender's not goal side. He's on the inside of him. That's where he's looking to go. Well, this guy's looking to go, sorry. He's looking to lay him in. But this is the run. That's the one that makes the goal. Pulls these defenders completely out the way. And that is absolutely brilliant. Off he goes. And you can see the space starting to open up. And with a little check inside. So instead of tracking that way, what this guy's done, this guy here, what he's done, he's just checked inside to lay the ball through. And because this guy has kept that defender on the outside of him, it's just great. Yeah, it's just overall great pass from midfield, getting through everyone. Great little layoff, great run, great little through ball. If you were doing this on the training field, you'd be just so happy for this to work. And it just worked in the game against Man City, the champions. Fantastic from Brighton. Absolutely fantastic. Goes across. Dump. There's the little touch. Controls it. Now he's just got to beat the keeper. It's no mean feat because, let's be fair, it's Edison. He's probably one of the top 3 keepers in the world. But the guy beats him. It does help that the ball's bouncing a little bit, which helps him. And then he just knocks it in. Dumph. Gets himself a goal. Other than that, I'll see you next time on Cash Talks Football.